Hey there, fellow zombie enthusiasts, and welcome to the Drunken Zombies podcast. I'm Adrian, your host for all things undead.
And I'm Julia, here to help us dissect these tales of brains and mayhem.
Yeah, we are so excited to be launching this show, bringing you a fresh new zombie story every single day.
Every single day, that's right. And trust me, these stories are addictive. We've got masterful storytelling, spine-chilling twists, and enough gore to satisfy any zombie fan.
Absolutely. We aim to leave you craving for more tales of brains and mayhem. And hey, don't forget to rate and follow for more Drunken Zombies episodes.
Now let's sink our teeth into today's story. It's a real game changer, a story that asks, what if zombies weren't just mindless flesh eaters?
Oh, this is a good one. This story introduces us to the awakened zombies who retain their sentience. And we meet Marcus, a biologist whose scientific mind is now trapped in this horrifying new reality.
It's a brilliant premise. Imagine a mind trained in logic and reason, now inhabiting a body driven by insatiable hunger. What a nightmare.
Like his whole world has been turned upside down, and he's grappling with this new existence, trying to figure out who he is now.
And he's not alone. There are others like him, these awakened zombies who are forming support groups, struggling with questions of identity, purpose, and whether coexistence with humans is even possible.
Wow. It's fascinating to think about, right? If you woke up as a sentient zombie, what would you do? Would you try to integrate back into society, or would you embrace your new undead nature?
I don't know. The story doesn't offer any easy answers. It really forces you to confront some uncomfortable truths about yourself and what you might do in such an extreme situation.
I think I'd be terrified, honestly.
Right, me too.
Right.
So, the story also introduces us to Elena, a former teacher who, like Marcus, yearns for peace with the remaining humans.
That's interesting. So there are some zombies who actually want peace.
Yeah, it's not all about brains and blood. But that hope for peace is constantly threatened by another powerful figure in the story, the Ravager.
Ah, yes, the Ravager. He's the one who represents the primal destructive force we typically associate with zombies.
Exactly. He and his followers view peaceful coexistence as a weakness. They think it's pathetic.
They want to just destroy everything in their path.
Pretty much. The Ravager presents this compelling paradox. He embodies our fears of the classic mindless zombie, yet his motivations hint at something deeper.
Yeah. He's not just some mindless eating machine.
No. He's driven by this intense rage and resentment towards humans, which suggests he's capable of complex emotions not usually attributed to the undead.
So he's almost like a thinking, feeling zombie in a way.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
This makes you question what happened to the Ravager that fueled this burning hatred. Did he suffer some unimaginable loss? Or is this just the natural progression of his undead state?
Yeah, that's a great question. The story doesn't explicitly say, but it's this mystery surrounding his motives that makes him such a compelling antagonist.
And a terrifying one.
Right. And so his presence adds another layer of conflict to an already complex situation. Marcus and his group are trying to build bridges with humans while constantly looking over their shoulder for the Ravager and his followers.
Talk about high stakes. It creates this incredible tension that keeps you on the edge of your seat.
You're always wondering, when is he going to show up? What's he going to do?
Exactly. And this tension really comes to a head during Marcus's daring raid on the human stronghold.
Oh, yeah. This is a turning point in the story, right?
Absolutely. This mission was supposed to be a chance for Marcus to open up a dialogue with the remaining humans. He hoped to capture a key leader and negotiate for peace.
So it was supposed to be a peaceful mission in a way.
It was. But things go horribly wrong, leading to a tragic confrontation with Captain Sarah Miles, the human leader.
What happens?
Well, in the chaos, Sarah Miles is killed, along with many of the awakened. It's a devastating blow to both sides and shatters any hope of a peaceful resolution.
So much for peace talks.
It's a huge setback. And it also marks a major turning point for Marcus. He's captured by the humans, imprisoned, and left to wallow in his despair. He starts to question everything he's been fighting for.
Poor Marcus. Can you imagine being in his position? You try and do the right thing and everything just falls apart.
It's heartbreaking. He feels responsible for the deaths of his people and wonders if his dream of peace was just a delusion.
Wow. So what happens to him?
Well, his capture leads to an unexpected encounter with Dr. Lena, a human scientist who's fascinated by the awakened, especially Marcus.
So there's some humans who are open to understanding the awakened.
Yeah, Dr. Lena's one of them. She sees him as a scientific marvel, a key to understanding this new world where the dead walk among the living.
That's an interesting perspective. She's not afraid of him. She sees him as an opportunity.
Exactly. Their conversations, though initially tense, spark a glimmer of hope in this bleak world. Dr. Lena's research reveals the possibility of a cure for the zombie condition derived from Marcus's unique biology.
Hold on. So the key to curing the zombie plague might lie within a zombie himself.
That's what it looks like.
Right.
This discovery injects a sense of possibility into the narrative. It suggests that even in this apocalyptic nightmare, there's a chance for healing, a chance for humans and the undead to coexist peacefully.
That's incredible. It makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about zombies. They're not just monsters to be feared and destroyed, but potentially the bridge to a new kind of future.
And it's this potential for a cure that sets the stage for the final epic showdown between Marcus and the Ravager.
Oh, man. This is getting good.
It is. But before we get to that, let's take a quick break to refresh our drinks and let this all sink in.
Sounds good to me. I need a refill.
Welcome back to the Drinkin' Zombies podcast, where we're dissecting a tale that flips the zombie narrative on its head.
It really does. It makes you think about what it even means to be human. Like, what defines us?
Yeah, it really challenges those assumptions about humanity. We often associate humanity with, reason, compassion, empathy.
Yeah, but what happens when those qualities are stripped away? What happens if they're twisted or reawakened in some kind of horrifying new form?
The awakened really embody that dilemma, don't they? They retain their memories or emotions, even their desire to connect with others.
Yeah, but they're trapped in these decaying bodies.
Yeah.
Driven by this primal hunger that just threatens to consume them.
Right. It forces us to ask that question, what defines us as human? Is it just our physical form, our instincts, or is it something deeper than that?
I don't think this story gives us easy answers.
Yeah.
It's more about exploring those gray areas.
Yeah.
The questions we don't really want to think about.
And it does it in a way that's both thought-provoking and terrifying. I mean, imagine encountering a sentient zombie. Would you just shoot first and ask questions later?
Oh man, I don't know. Part of me wants to believe I could see past the monstrous exterior and recognize the person trapped inside.
But the story also acknowledges that, primal fear.
Right.
The fear that comes with encountering the undead, this fear of the unknown, something that defies our understanding of life and death.
Yeah, the Ravager really embodies that fear.
Yeah.
But he's also something more than just a mindless monster.
Right. We talked about that earlier, how his rage hints at something deeper, a sense of betrayal that suggests a capacity for complex emotions.
Exactly. He's not just a mindless killing machine. He seems to feel something.
Right.
Real emotions.
Yeah, his actions raise some questions about the nature of his existence. For instance, if the awakened can retain their sentience, could they also hold on to their past traumas? Could the Ravager's rage come from some horrific experience he went through before his transformation or even during?
Oh, that's a chilling thought.
Yeah.
It makes his motivations even more unsettling.
It also makes you wonder about the cure. If it can restore their physical body, can it heal the psychological scars too? Or would the awakened still be left with those haunting memories even if they were cured?
Whoa, I never thought about that before. Those are some heavy questions. But thankfully, the story also gives us Dr. Lena right.
She's such a fascinating character, a real beacon of hope in this dark world.
I like her. She represents that power of curiosity, the desire to understand even when faced with something scary.
Instead of seeing Marcus as a monster, she sees him as a scientific breakthrough, a way to unlock the secrets of this new world.
She's brave to see past the flesh and recognize the person underneath.
Yeah, and it's that willingness that leads to the discovery of the cure.
Dr. Lena really reminds us that knowledge can be a powerful tool for change, even in the worst situations.
She also challenges all that fear and prejudice towards the awakened. Her actions show that understanding and compassion can bridge even the most impossible divides.
Man, this story is a roller coaster ride of emotions. It's terrifying, thought-provoking, and even hopeful.
It is. It's a reminder that even in the darkest times, humanity can endure. And sometimes the most unlikely heroes come from the most unexpected places.
Which brings us to that final showdown between Marcus and the Ravager. It's the ultimate battle for survival.
The Ravager launches an all-out assault on the last human stronghold, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a desperate last stand. And in a twist that no one sees coming, Marcus rallies the Awakened to fight alongside the humans.
Wow, what an unlikely alliance. That really drives home the message of the story, that even in the face of unimaginable horror, we can find common ground.
We can come together and fight for something better.
The battle is brutal, though. Lots of losses on both sides.
But in the end, Marcus delivers the final blow.
Right. He sacrifices himself to kill the Ravager and save both humans and the Awakened.
What a hero. His death is both tragic and inspiring.
It really is. It shows the true cost of this conflict and all the sacrifices made for the greater good.
It also makes you think about leadership. Marcus was a scientist, not a soldier. but he stepped up to protect everyone. What do you make of his transformation?
It shows us that leadership can come from anywhere. Marcus wasn't looking for power or glory. He just wanted to make the world a better place, even if it meant putting himself in danger.
He challenges the idea of what a hero should be, right? He's not some tough guy or a soldier. He's a scientist, a man who believes in peace and understanding.
And those beliefs led to his ultimate sacrifice. So with the Ravager gone and Marcus gone, the story takes another unexpected turn.
What happens next? Welcome back to the Drunken Zombies podcast. We're wrapping up our discussion of this incredible story that's left us with a lot to chew on.
It really has. This whole thing with the awakened, those sentient zombies.
Yeah.
It's crazy how they challenge what we think about being human.
I know, right? They have memories and emotions, even hopes for the future.
But they're stuck in those decaying bodies, always fighting that primal hunger that could just consume them.
Such a terrifying internal conflict.
Yeah.
Like they're caught between their human past and their undead present.
And we see that play out so well through Marcus, that biologist turned sentient zombie.
He was such a complex character, trying to make sense of this new reality with his scientific mind.
He really wanted peace between humans and the awakened, but he was constantly hitting those harsh realities of this new world.
In the end, he sacrificed everything to try and save everyone. He proved that even in the darkest situations, there's still a chance for redemption.
His death was a major turning point. It opened the door for peace, and even a possible cure for the zombie condition from his biology.
That cure adds another layer to the story, doesn't it? Some awakened see it as a chance to be human again,
while others see it as a betrayal of their new nature.
It shows how powerful fear and prejudice can be. Even when there's a chance to fix things, some people just can't let go of their hatred.
It's a reminder that building a harmonious society is tough, especially when dealing with creatures that were once human.
But then we have Dr. Lena, that human scientist who saw the potential in Marcus.
She's a great character, so curious and compassionate.
Instead of being afraid, she wanted to understand and find a way forward together.
Her research led to that cure, a glimmer of hope in all this darkness.
But the story doesn't end with a happy bow tied on it, does it?
Nope. Those rogue awakens are still out there.
They're like a shadow hanging over everything.
They reject the cure and hold on to their resentment. They could easily spark more violence and chaos.
So the story leaves us with this unsettling feeling that the conflict isn't really over.
It makes you wonder what the future holds for humans and the awakened. Can they truly coexist? Or is this cycle of violence going to keep repeating?
What a wild ride this story has been.
It really makes you question everything you thought you knew about zombies.
It makes you face your own fears and think about what you would do in this situation.
And ultimately, that's what we love about these zombie tales. It's not just about gore and scares. They make us think about the human condition in all its complexities.
So as we wrap up, what do you think the future holds for this world? Will peace win out, or will chaos reign?
Only time will tell. But we'll be here to discuss it all as the story unfolds. Who knows, maybe we'll even encounter some sentient zombies along the way.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Drunken Zombies podcast. Be sure to rate and follow for more tales of brains and mayhem. Until next time, stay curious, stay thirsty, and try not to get bitten.